Hello everyone, I'm Shreya Nikhil, and today I'll be speaking on the topic the performance of femininity through the lens of Katherine Mansfield's short story Bliss. When we read Bliss, it's easy to focus on Bertha's happiness. She describes this feeling of being overwhelmingly joyful. But when we look closer, it is obvious that happiness that she talks about is rehearsed. From the very beginning, Bertha is presented as someone who is performing what a perfect woman should be. She is excited about hosting the dinner. She rearranges things a lot and she makes sure the house looks right, the food is right, the atmosphere is right. There's a kind of nervous energy around her, and we can interpret this as something that is very important to her. It is important to her that the evening goes right, not just to have a successful party, but also that successful party is directly related to how she is being perceived. Bertha isn't just being herself, she's embodying a role. She's the ideal hostess, the cheerful wife, the perfect woman, the woman who is effortlessly happy. One of the most interesting moments is how she describes her own happiness. She says she feels like she has swallowed a bright piece of late afternoon sun. It's a beautiful image, I agree. But it is also slightly strange because she never explains why she feels that way. There is no clear source to it. This is where the idea of performance becomes strong. Her happiness feels less like an emotion and more like something she tries to actively maintain. We can also see this in her relationship with her husband. They talk, they interact, they even host together. But there's something missing there. There's a detachment, there's a lack of emotional connection. There's an attempt to make this distance acceptable and progressive. At one point, Bertha even reflects how their relationship feels too modern and detached. Bertha doesn't openly accept it, but even she can sense that she is not understood in her own marriage. Another important part of this performance is her fascination with Pearl Fulton. Pearl is calm and mysterious and seems very perfect to Bertha. She looks at the pear tree outside and feels that it represents something complete and whole, and she attaches this image to the liking that she feels for Pearl. The pear tree becomes a symbol of the life Bertha thinks she has. It is still perfectly balanced, but there's a problem. It is also static. Neither does, it doesn't grow or change, and neither does Bertha's understanding of herself and her life. When Bertha realizes the truth about her husband and Pearl, her happiness collapses. But what's interesting is she doesn't react dramatically. She goes back to the pear tree and it's still unchanged. And that's where the performance is most visible. Even after everything is revealed, she has no reaction to it. There's no clear shift in her outward behavior. It's as if the role she has been playing will continue on, even when the reality no longer supports it. So, when we talk about the performance of femininity in Bliss, it's not just about social roles like being a wife or a hostess. It's about how women are expected to be and how women are expected to present themselves, and how sometimes these performances, the women start to believe in them. Bertha's happiness, marriage, and identity were built on these expectations, and when these expectations are exposed, what remains is very heartbreaking. In conclusion, Bliss shows us that femininity is not always natural or effortless. It is sometimes carefully constructed, repeated, and maintained. And through Bertha, Mansfield reveals how fragile this performance can be. Thank you so much.